I took this Bentley for its first drive in the last video. There's just one problem. We're missing the windshield. Wow.
Oh, it's like sucking out of the car.
Well, I gotta interrupt this video and say thank you to all of you. You guys are so awesome. I can't explain. We just hit 1,000 subscribers and it's all thanks to you guys. So that means a lot of you guys really like what I'm doing and I can't say thank you enough. Now, let's get back to the video. And because there is no windshield, it made the first drive really loud and we didn't really get to test it out. The air suspension light came on.
Well, yeah, you probably when you go over a certain mile per hour.
Oh, dear. Don't you even think about it, buddy. We're driving around in a Bentley with no windshield like idiots.
Last thing we need to do.
Yeah. Re-crash it. Now there is a lot of things that need to be done so that we can take this thing for a proper test drive and get this windshield back in. And one of the things is that I want to work on this A-pillar. Now if you guys don't remember, this A-pillar was absolutely destroyed, and instead of cutting and welding in a new piece, I came up with the idea, or at least tried, to use a paintless dent removal tool. This A-pillar just a little bit more so that it looks 100%, because I could just throw body filler in it, but that's something that I don't really want to do. So let's work on this, get this a little bit better, and then to make that a little bit better, I bought this. I've never used one of these. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to pull this a little bit better. Let's see how it goes. Now, this seems pretty straightforward. All you're gonna do is you're gonna plug that in, use that, weld the tabs, and pull out these dents. So, yeah, we're gonna have to clean off some paint. Using this weld tab will help get out a lot of the dents. And yes, you guys caught me. I am watching a video in the background on exactly how to use this thing. So the first thing I had to do is clean off the surface of any paint so that I can get a nice contact weld. And then you use this slide hammer that comes with the kit and basically just pull it out. And I'm quite impressed that this thing actually works pretty well. I would highly suggest if you have a small dent or anything and you're gonna be painting anyways, you might as well use it, because we do not wanna put a ton of body filler, because body filler will crack over time and we don't wanna have any issues. Now after pulling out a lot of this, I did end up laying down a light skim coat, and yes, you guys caught me again. I accidentally put finishing glaze on, but I ended up sanding it down. And then I put a fresh coat of body filler, sand that off, and then re-put the final coat of finishing glaze over the top of the body filler. And I must say that this A-pillar actually turned out really good. It was a lot of work and a lot of learning, but I think we did manage to save it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, so I finished sanding. That is probably gonna be the best I'm going to ever get this. And I think that it's pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. It feels nice and smooth. It's not all wobbly, but the real test is gonna be when we put the fender on. So now we should throw the fender on and see how everything starts to line up. And fingers crossed, it looks pretty good, because this was a ton of work. Now, one thing that I do want to keep in mind, that the fender, because I laid over the top, it probably is going to stick up a little bit higher, but that's okay. All we can do is try to fit it. Hopefully it looks good. Now these are the original fenders that were in the accident. I just repaired them using carbon fiber. That was a few videos ago, and now I'm hoping that these things will line up, but unfortunately it seemed like that there was a little bit of an issue with them. So all the holes seem to be lining up and they're right. Now this, when I molded it, it did kind of curve down some. So I don't know if that's forcing it up, but this headlight looks like that it's sitting back kind of far. I don't know why that is just yet, but I'm gonna try throwing on the other side and see if we get the same fitment, because I might have to adjust these headlights. That could be the problem. On this other side fender, which wasn't as damaged as the other side, did start to line up a lot better, and it actually looked good. So I think that we did a pretty good job on repairing this fender. This side is fitting much better. It doesn't look like it, but once I secure that down, that'll fit and fully secure that. But it is making contact and it is looking Like that is really good. But this side, unfortunately, I think that this has to come out. This is going like this, like curved down, so it's not letting it sit. You know, these are the things that you learn while building these cars. And I've never done carbon fiber before, but I gave it a shot. It kind of worked out. So there we go. Now, one thing I did realize while fitting up these fenders, I did forget to put in these metal pieces that I took out for when I repaired. And because we fiberglassed a lot of it, I had to grind out all the extra material and then use Mansori glue, as Matt Armstrong calls it, to glue in these metal pieces, and this is gonna make it stronger. And also, I'm hoping that this is gonna help shape driver's side fender so that it doesn't fold upwards, that actually is gonna help it fold downward. And I clamped all these brackets into place to hold it and let it sit for 24 hours because I want to make sure that this metal piece adheres really good to this. Now that we got the metal part all dry, now we can put them on the car. This is a very exciting part. Let's go! Now this fender did not seem to want to line up, and it just seemed like that there was something a little bit off about it, so I decided I wanted to try to line up the bumper. I do only got one bumper bracket on for right now. I don't know where the other one is right now, but we're gonna try to line up this bumper, and we're gonna see how it looks. I think I can get it kind of lined up now with that bracket on there and hold it. We'll see. Now, while trying to line up this bumper, I did realize I missed one important bracket that kind of secures the whole entire front of the bumper on. Okay, so I just realized that I'm missing this piece that goes right there for the bumper to attach to. And unfortunately, that is gonna help me secure it so I can get it figured out on what it is that I need. Now, this piece is extremely bent up. I'm gonna have to order it, so we're gonna have to wait a few days for that to come in, and then we should be able to line everything up. Now, unfortunately, we can't get any farther on this part, but if you remember, we took this for a drive. This thing is sitting too high, and I think I know why that is. Now, while waiting on some parts, I decided that it was time to jump under the car and replace these sway bar brackets. And I'm super glad that I did notice that these sway bar brackets are broke because they were really bad. The bushings were basically falling right out of them. We want to make sure that we're gonna have the smoothest ride for the next drive. Okay, so this is why that the car is riding to the moon. Apparently, when I first got the car, this was one of the first things I changed all the way around because they were missing. So I thought I replaced it, but I guess I didn't replace that one. And I have no idea where I put the bar or the sensor. So yeah, I bought a new one off from Amazon. These things are super cheap. All I needed was this. Eventually I'll upgrade them to adjustable links, but yeah, let's just take this off. I'm not even gonna use this because I'd rather keep the OEM, and I'm just gonna take this off from there, and that's what we're gonna use. See, taking out this bar is probably the best way, because then I don't think that the sensors have to be recalibrated, but if they did, this bar is just the piece that connects between the sensor and the control arm, so I hopefully will not have to program it. Now we can see if this car is gonna actually air down, or if it could be something else. But the off-roading look is kind of cool, so I guess we'll see. Now with the sensors repaired, now it's time to lower the car and see if this works, and I really hope that it does work, because although the off-road look is pretty cool, and maybe in the future it might be something. Now the front suspension did seem to lower, but it doesn't seem like that it's lowering to the point where that the whole car is level. It almost seems like that the front end is still sitting a little too high. So it does look like that this did drop some, but when I hit the button in there, it doesn't do anything, and it's showing on there. So I think that the next step is we should hook this up for a diagnosis. Now hooking up the scanner tool, this should tell us a ton, and I've never hooked this up. I don't know why. I just never did, but it should tell us that if there's any type of sensors, maybe a potential problem or anything, or maybe even also clear some faults. Okay, so I'm not sure what I did, but if you guys, now the car won't start. It happened where that I'm getting the airbag light, and for some reason it's giving me kind of like a pyro fuse like type thing. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna have to look around and check some fuses and try to figure this out, because it was completely fine. I had to look at the code reader and see if there's anything that I could find in here that might have caused an issue with why this car wouldn't start, and then I found this. But I'm pretty sure that the pyro fuse went, which is really strange. I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but if I test these, there's no beep. So I'm gonna get this off from here, and I'm gonna check it, try to see if I can figure this out. I'll be back. Now this is probably one of the weirdest things that could have ever happened, but the pyro fuse didn't actually blow when the car was in the accident. It actually blew when I cleared the codes. I have no idea why. If anybody has any idea why, because we have torn this car apart and done a ton of things, I would really like to know. So please tell me in the comments below. All right, so we got one of the most important pieces, and if you see, this is the bad one, which is straight, and this one is the new one that is a little slightly curved. But this is gonna tell us where the bumper should be, and this is important, so let's throw this on the car. Now I'm super glad that I do have this bracket, because it does seem like that it is helping the bumper line up, and the passenger side seems to be lining up perfectly, but the driver's side for some reason is still a little bit off, and that fender was the worst damage. So I think it's gonna take a lot of tweaking to make it work. You know, sometimes while rebuilding these crash cars, things don't always work out, but you just have to try to solve them and make the best of it. I know that it's hard to tell with this, but honestly, this is fitting a lot better. And I don't think that this is an OEM bumper, but this is all lining up right here. These, even though if I have that a little bit, if I adjust this over, that pretty much lines up. So that's a good thing. And then over here, obviously there's some pieces that go down, and this will have to be adjusted some. But overall, I am very impressed with this, since how that these things were completely destroyed. This car was completely destroyed, but the fitment is not terrible. So I'm gonna consider that as a win. Now I am waiting on one more thing, and this is the other bracket over here, but I wanted to get it to this point so I could see it, and I think that it's coming along. I think it looks pretty good. Not 100%, pretty good. But if you like these type of videos and you want to see me get this perfectly lined up, now I know I didn't get a ton done, but I got some done on this car. I'm gonna try to put out videos faster, even if they're not that long, just because I want to keep you guys up to date on this. I am constantly working on it, so if you want to see more and you want to see more of the Bentley build, and I can't say thank you enough to you guys. Hopefully in the next video, window, bumper align, maybe even start painting, okay? Which you can't see